What's up, my Makokos, Raid Pros, and Bonk Bros? Defender here, and welcome back to another video. Today, I want to touch on the big one, which is the Brelshaza update, and how we can basically make the most for gold opportunities coming into the update, right? So it's a huge update. It's known as a soft reset in Korea, which is true. It's similar to the 1370 eye level kind of soft reset that we have from Argos going up into the Legion raids. And what the soft reset means is a changing of materials and the way that we level up our gear, and changing our gear sets as well. And this is a huge opportunity to not only improve your character, improve your roster, but also to make a lot of money as well. Now, I'll get into all of this in detail in the video, but what I want to say first and foremost is these are just my opinions. This is not a guaranteed way to make money. I think a lot of people already understand this is a good opportunity and most likely will make a lot of money. But that being said, obviously there is always kind of a risk involved in these methods because it's not guaranteed. Okay, so just take that with a grain of salt. Everything I'm saying is my opinion and it might not pan out, but it's what I'm going to be doing. It's what a lot of people are going to be doing and it makes a lot of sense. Okay, but before we get into today's video, you guys know the drill with YouTube. If you like the video and you appreciate the content, please consider dropping me a subscribe. Let me know down in the comments down below if there's any ways that I can improve the video, or if I've got something wrong maybe, or maybe you just want to share your opinions on the matter. I always appreciate hearing from you guys. Your feedback is incredible. I'm taking on board everything you guys are saying, and I try and communicate with you guys as much as possible in the comments down below. And so yeah, if you like the content, please consider doing any of those. I'd really appreciate your support. We're going to keep growing as a community, and I want to keep delivering amazing content to you guys. But anyway, let's get straight into the video. Enjoy. So right off the bat, we know the obvious ones, right? So a good way to make gold is going to be to sell your materials, right? And you might already be selling your unbound mats just from your guardian raids, for example, that you're doing, and your leftover stones from everything that you do during the week across everything. And also you might be selling accessories, which is fine. That's a great way to always make income if you have a good accessory, but that's pure RNG, nothing guaranteed. So we're not going to include that. Now, first off, I will say that if you haven't already watched my Brelshaza prep video, please go check that out. It's not a plug for myself, but more so because you need to know where you're going to be stopping your eye level so that you know how much money you can make by selling things and what you need to hold on to so that you're ready for whatever gates you might want to attempt. Okay, and if you're not looking to raid day one, that's fine. You don't need to watch the video. Just know that to make the most gold out of the opportunity, you need to be at least 1490 on one character. And that is because we're going to be having the opportunity to convert our materials at 1490 at a ratio of 5 to 1 from, say, Guardians, Destructions, Leapstones, and fused Leapstones. Okay, so you need to be 1490 to do that, and also 1490 is a method, is a requirement to get bracelets. Okay, so bracelets are going to be added in, and I'll do a separate video purely on bracelets because there's a lot to it. But just know all these things require a 1490 character. Okay, so we've got that out of the way. Let's talk about the bound mats. Okay, so you can't sell your bound mats, so what we can do is we can make sure we're using bound mats purely for our character, and if we get enough of that, then we can sell our unbound mats, okay? And we can kind of push our roster mats or our account-wide mats into the characters we need them so that everyone can sell the unbound mats. And that is one of the perks of playing more than one main character. Maybe you might play 2, 3, maybe 6 main characters and have alts that do low pang, and that's the norm, right? So the more main characters you have, the more you can pump into characters that you need, and then everything that's unbound, you can take advantage of that by selling it when the market is looking fruitful. Okay, so the bound mats that you want to be holding on to for Brelshaza, honestly makes a lot of sense, right? Is going to be your generic raid mats, but also you want to be looking at getting as many honor shards as you can. Now, I've done a video on honor shards already and just why their value is so criminally underrated at the moment and why people are going to be regretting not farming this up. As you can see, I've got a lot already and my character is already a very high eye level. So check out the video already if you haven't on honor shards. I'll put a link up on the video right now and in the description below. It's going to talk about why honor shards are so important and why you should start farming them in your Unas dailies, your Unas weeklies, maybe investing on the market right now. The prices are relatively stable but that's going to change a lot over time. Okay, so maybe get in there early. Now, the other one I want to talk about as well is the Fuse Leapstones. Now, Fuse Leapstones are freebies that you get from your Legion raids. You get them from the chests after beating the gates, and they are a huge one, okay? So you've probably been using them as you go. They're just free hones with no artisan energy, no increase in percentage. They're just free taps, right? So you have to have, first of all, you have to have the energy put into the item, so the honing experience put in with the honor shards and the silver, and then you can free tap. And the Koreans very early on said to us, don't use these Leapstones unless you absolutely have to. If you really need a level and you can't afford any other means, then maybe use it, but otherwise do not touch it. And that's because we can convert this 5-to-1 into the higher up version of this for Brelshaza gear. And that gives us a big advantage because we've had plenty of time to prep now for Brelshaza, and you've probably got the eye level you need already, and having these saved means that you just have free taps on Brelshaza gear to push your eye level even higher. And obviously, when we get Brelshaza gear to begin with, the percentages are a little bit higher on the odds of success because the gear level, the item level itself goes lower, but our eye level goes up. So you have a higher success rate to begin with, and these are a freebie tap, essentially. So save those. If you haven't already started saving them, save them. I wasted about 800 on my Berserker. Didn't get a single eye level from it, so do not waste them now. Save them, stock them up. Okay, and also, right now we have a huge opportunity with the Gold Frog. I've covered that in another video. I'll put a link in it if you want to have a look and see if it's worth it. But the Gold Frog and any kind of event vendors that come up for bound mats, huge opportunity to stock up bound mats so that you can sell your Unbound for Brelshaza. So if you haven't already, like you can see in my my character right now, I've got plenty of Destruction Stones stocked up, and that's just from the Gold Frog, my Legion raids, and having my my item level already where I need it to be, so everything can start being saved. Okay, and these are bound, and so I can convert those 5-to-1 into the new level of Destruction Stones. Okay, and then obviously with Brelshaza, you're going to want your battle items, so your bombs, your grenades, your HP potions, all that, whatever the requirements are for Brelshaza. I don't know because I haven't looked into the encounters myself. I'm trying to stay away from spoilers, but you need to make sure you have enough equipment for that day one, and obviously there's going to be a market to maybe make a profit on the ones that are viable. Okay, then obviously there is also the roster bound, the account bound items that you should be stocking up on. And right now we have the obvious ones, which are your Arc Pass. Okay, everything in there is account bound, so you can put it in your shared roster. And what that means is the characters that need certain top-ups because they may be lacking, or the one you want to pump the most into, you can put those like I have here. A lot of these bottom ones here are all roster bound, okay? And that means that I can push those into the character that needs it, and then that character can sell their Unbound mats, and they're not relying on their Unbound mats to hit those margins to get up to the level. So for example, right now my Deadeye is my lowest. He's relatively new, and you made him a couple of weeks ago, but he's the only one that probably isn't going to be ready for Brelshaza without some help. So I'm going to pump all my roster stuff into him, and then that way I can still sell everything Unbound on him when Brelshaza comes out. So that's another one. And then obviously we have our weeklies that you're probably already doing, the Challenge Guardians and the Challenge Abyssals. They give us chests and materials that are unbound in some cases, and then the chests are bound to roster, so you can push those into your ults as well. Okay, so another reason you can save spending or means you can sell on your ults, okay? And then obviously you have your big ones like the store items. So in here, for example, if we were to look into the details, we can see that the chests have a plentiful amount of bound mats to help you level up, like your honor shards and your guardian leapstones. And then Unbound. Unbound is where we want to talk about making huge amounts of gold with Brelshaza. So Unbound, the big ones that I want to talk on are firstly the Great Honor Leapstones. Now there's going to be a higher version of this, and that one is going to sell for a lot of gold. Now, some days might not be worth selling, but there will be opportunities to make a lot of gold from this because only 1490 people can convert this, and it's going to sell for at least 5 times the value of a single Great Honor Leapstone now, because you have to have at least 5 of them to convert. So it wouldn't be worth selling it for anything less, because no one would make any money. So that's why you have to be 1490, and people are going to be running out of these new great on a Leapstones, or greater on a Leapstones, whatever the term is, because they're going to be pumping into their new gear as much as possible so that they can either do Gate 3 and 4, Gate 5 and 6, or just so that the whales and the dolphins can juice up to their heart's content and be the new eye level max. So those are a huge one. Mark that down. That's a must. And the next one, like I said before, is Honor Shards. Honor Shards are going to be worth so much money because people are going to run out and they're not going to be able to hone, right? You have a limit amount you can do each week to make Honor Shards, and then you are screwed, okay? And that's why people have already started to invest in these Honor Shard pouches. Luckily, the auction house is working for me right now. But these are going to go up considerably, okay? I've been buying them when they're low and stocking up a little bit in my my vault, and you can see I've got a few stocked up here, but people really have stocked these up in plentiful. And the good thing is, if they don't sell for a lot, you can still use them because you're going to need them anyway. So even if you're sitting pretty now, like I might be, for example, this is going to run out at some point, okay? I can bet my bottom dollar that I'm going to use all of this up without any external help from other items, and I'm going to need to top up. And Chaos Dungeons and raids aren't going to be enough to do that naturally. That's the way the game is designed. So the prices are going to push up for those a lot. I would say probably close to, I don't know, I'm spitballing a number out of nowhere, but at least double their value. And that's just because the demand is going to be so high, and we're limited to how much we can get. Okay, and then let's talk about the other ones which are obvious. They're maybe not going to increase in value as much, but the solar support items. The solar support items are a big one. They're going to be helping people to juice their weapons when they're trying to do their weapons. So those are going to go up in price for sure. I just don't know when. I would say week 2 is going to be the opportunity to make a lot of money for people with, firstly, destruction stones, and secondly, with the solar support items. And the reason for that is week 2 is the first week that people that fully clear Brelshaza can make the weapon. Okay, so they can't make the weapon week 1, even with the bonus boxes if they win the bids. Week 2 is when people will make the weapon, and they're going to want to juice it, right? They're going to want that glow, the aesthetic glow, the flex. They're going to want their weapon damage up as much as possible. And so this is going to be a huge opportunity in week 2. Okay, so wait on the first week to sell these materials. The other ones will be fine to sell, but week 2, destruction stones and solar support items. Okay, they're going to be worth a lot in week 2. I don't know when in week 2. Might be worth waiting a day before people clear the raids. Maybe the weekend will be a popular time, but make sure you have a look on those because they're going to be a big opportunity. Okay, and lastly, the one I want to talk about, which I think people are really going to be lacking in, and this is going to be the biggest opportunity to make money, and you might be surprised, is actually related to trade skills. Now, if you're not already doing trade skills, you are missing out. Firstly, for a various number of reasons, to save gold on yourself, to make gold just on the market in general. You can play the market, the materials are worth a lot, the crafting is worth a lot, and just the quality of life that you get from having these leveled up as well. Okay, but let's talk about why trade skills are going to be so important, and that is because the fusion material, right? So right now we're using the fusion material here. You're probably crafting this or buying this when you're honing up your characters. Now we get a lot in our bonus express passes, so you might have plenty left over. But the tradable, craftable versions of these in the new tier, because we're getting a new tier of fusion material, is going to be expensive. Now a lot of people do not play trade skills, and so they're not going to be able to even craft it for themselves, let alone craft and sell to the market. So if you happen to have some of these trade skills leveled up, so excavating, fishing, and hunting, these bottom 3, they are the most important ones, okay? Because they are going to let you craft, as you can see here, the fusion materials. And I'll put some screenshot up of the new costs of the new materials, because we're going to need plenty of that, not just for yourself, but to sell on the market. Okay, so make sure that if you're not already, you're doing one of these 3. I would say focus on one of them. Mine has been excavating. Focus on these, and then try and push it up as high as you can. Make sure you're getting at least kind of the level 30 bonus from these. The level 30 bonus on fishing is a must if you're doing fishing. And I don't really use the sniffer dog, but having the extra relic chances on the, I think it's loot hunter. Yeah. The loot hunter is fantastic, and then obviously every 5 excavating you should have a mini game where you can, I'll put some footage up on screen, a mini game where you do kind of timed clicking, and if you get all 3 of them, then you get bonuses to the rewards. These are musts. Okay, start working on them now. Start hoarding up your materials. As you can see with the excavating one, I've been hoarding up a little bit, and I'm just planning on day 1 pumping in as much as I can into the fusion materials, okay? Crafting them up, and whether I need them or whether I want to sell them, either way, it's going to be a huge opportunity to make my life a lot easier, and I think it's going to be a big opportunity to make money. And that brings me on to another point on strongholds, which is start saving these weekly stronghold reward chests, okay? Because that is going to allow you to instant complete these fusion crafts. So you might have some left already, these acceleration chips. You might have some left already just from playing the stronghold. If you haven't leveled up your stronghold, work on it now. You have a couple of weeks to really push into it. But as you play every week, it's going to be an opportunity to... Let me just find it for you now. There's going to be an opportunity every week to earn these chests, okay, just from doing some of these requirements, these little mini checkpoints, and you're going to earn points for these chests. Save these chests, or open the chests and don't use the items. Save those items, and then when you want to craft the fusions day one, you can pump them out immediately, get them on the market before other people have to wait for the crafting to finish, and you're good to go. Okay, so huge kind of advantage that we can take there, and a huge opportunity to make money. Hopefully it pays out for us. I will let you know how I get on with it day one. But yeah, those are just my tips. I think most of them are going to pay out, but you know, obviously just bear in mind that it's not guaranteed, so take it with a grain of salt. I'm not saying it will. Okay, but that's everything for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have you guys stocked this stuff up already? Are you prepped for Brelshaza? Which gates are you going into? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I'd love to know ways I can improve on the videos. But until next time, take care.